Well, hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. If you have ever dreamed of stepping out your back door right into a gorgeous, vibrant wildflower garden, honey, you are in the perfect place. Grab yourself a glass of sweet tea, settle in, and let's talk about how we can start your very own backyard flower farm right now. We're going to go over the basic skills and essential tips you need for a rock-solid fall planting strategy.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. When that blistering summer heat rolls in, you look at your garden beds and just assume planting season is completely done until next spring, right? Well, according to the materials we're looking at today, that is absolutely not the case. You can actually plant seeds right now, right in the thick of summer, and be rewarded with some spectacular blooms by the time autumn rolls around.
The sources highlight this absolutely fascinating little concept. They're not dying, they are just pausing. You see, when that heavy summer heat hits the 90s, your plants and seeds aren't just giving up the ghost. No, they're just hitting the pause button to conserve their energy. It's like they're taking a little midsummer nap. And the second that crisp fall air rolls in, they wake right back up, ready to put on a show.
Section 1. Why fall planting wins.
Think about it. Spring planting naturally brings faster growing weeds and a whole lot more pests, which honestly just means less control for you. But late summer and early fall, that means significantly fewer pests out there munching on your precious blooms, and much slower weeds. So what does that mean for us? It translates to dramatically less work in the yard, giving you so much more control over your little flower farm.
Moving on to Section 2, the golden metric, your frost date. This whole strategy revolves around your first frost date. That's just the historical date of the first light freeze in your specific zip code. It is incredibly easy to just look up online. And once you have that magic date, it becomes the anchor point for all your backward planting math.
And here is the magic number you apply to that math: 6 to 12. The sources note that most flowers need exactly 6 to 12 weeks to go from a tiny little seed to a full, beautiful bloom. So once you have your first frost date, you just simply count backward by 6 to 12 weeks. That specific block of time, that right there, is your ideal, completely personalized planting window.
Now, I know it can feel like the year is just flying right on by, but trust me, you still have time. If you're watching this in early to midsummer, the math is entirely in your favor. You're almost certainly still sitting comfortably right inside that perfect backward planting window, so don't fret.
Section 3, starting your flower farm, a 4-step guide.
This whole process follows 4 super simple steps. First up, starting seeds protected and shaded. Second, transplanting once that summer heat breaks. Third, getting them established 6 to 8 weeks prior to the frost. And fourth, watching them bloom right on through the freeze. Let's break these down a little bit. Okay, step 1, start your seeds protected. Y'all, direct summer heat can be absolutely brutal on new, delicate seedlings, potentially baking them right there in the soil. Nobody wants that. To get them safely through this super fragile stage, the sources strongly recommend starting them somewhere protected. Think indoors, or maybe a nice shaded spot, completely out of that harsh afternoon sun.
Step 2, transplant when the heat breaks. Moving those tender little seedlings out during the absolute hottest stretch of the summer, well, that can be pretty detrimental. Instead, you're going to want to wait for those very first cooler evenings to arrive in late summer. When you feel that little cooling trend, that's your signal. That's nature telling you it is finally safe to move them out into the earth.
Step 3 brings us to the 6 to 8 week sweet spot. Once you transplant, making sure they have exactly 6 to 8 weeks in the ground before that first frost hits is absolutely crucial. Why? Well, it gives their root systems the exact right amount of time to establish firmly, and it provides all the energy they need to form those beautiful buds. And finally, step 4. Please don't panic at the frost. When that first chilly morning finally arrives and you wake up to see a little frost on the grass, if you've planted a cool season wildflower garden using this timing, those robust little plants are going to be just fine. In fact, most cool season flowers are so hardy they will bravely keep right on blooming even through a light freeze, bringing some incredible color to your autumn backyard.
Section 4, the warm season warning.
Now, I do need to warn you, not every single flower works with a late summer planting. We really have to consider what they call the dahlia exception. Flowers like dahlias are warm season lovers. They require a nice long growing season and they absolutely hate the cold. So before you plant, always check the days to maturity on your seed packet. You've got to guarantee that timeline fits right within your frost-free window.
And finally, Section 5, your fall strategy. You know, planting in late summer for a fall harvest isn't just some backup plan because you missed the spring rush. Not at all. It's a deliberate, highly calculated strategy for growing a stunning backyard flower farm. By using your frost date to count backward and starting those delicate seeds in the shade like we talked about, you are literally harnessing the changing seasons to your advantage. Which leaves us with just one final question to consider. Armed with this awesome backward planting strategy, what will be blooming in your backyard this fall?